Hi guys. I just want to introduce myself. My name's David. Benny's actually the one who put this class together. We've spoken in the past, probably about a year ago, about putting together something for women. I've always wanted to, but never pulled the trigger. So, Bezrat Hashem, this should be a success tonight. Hopefully you learned something new. I think probably what I bring more than anything is a different perspective. I didn't grow up religious. I was an atheist for most of my life. I became Baal Tshuva about 6 years ago. I married a girl from Israel, and I had a lot of crazy experiences, and now I'm learning in yeshiva like a child at 30 years old. So if you guys have any questions at the end of the class, feel open to be honest and genuine about whatever is going on with you and try to connect with what we're speaking about. I try to speak from my heart, so it's not like you're probably your usual, this is what happened in the Torah. But I hope you connect. Unfortunately, tonight is somebody in the community just passed away. He took his own life. This hits home for me. I used to be a mental health therapist, and I've had my own issues with depression and anxiety and hospitalizations. So to see somebody in the community take their life is very, very unfortunate. The rabbis say something very interesting. They say that the greatest degree of Tumah, right? They said that when the Jews were in Egypt, we hit almost the 50th gate of Tumah. Tumah is like a spiritual entity which blocks us off from connecting to Hashem. So they hit the 49th gate, and if they would have hit the 50th gate, it would have been over. So he took us out. That's actually the reason why Pesach, we came out so quickly, was because if we were there one more moment, we wouldn't have lasted any longer. So what is that 50th gate? So the 50th gate of Tumah is actually called Yush. It's called despair. It's called depression. It's called giving up. Because he let us out right before we all completely gave up, we survived. But it's amazing that if we would have gave up, that would have been the end. Not because of what the Egyptians were doing to us, but the power of giving up, what it does to a person. And you see that a person who has a family, who has kids, who has a wife, and he's not the only one who does something like this. There's many people who are under the pressure of supporting a family and trying to find their way in life, having unfulfilled dreams, not realizing how to turn their potential into reality, that you can feel a tremendous amount of weight and angst, and you could take your life. So tonight, I hope that we talk about something that allows a person to rise above and to transcend those limitations and to be able to find peace within their life and happiness and joy and all the things that we all want. So the rabbis teach us something very interesting. They say that in the end, when redemption comes for the Jewish people, that after we've been in exile for 2,000 years, we were kicked out of the land, we've suffered at the hands of the Romans and the Greeks and the Assyrians and the Egyptians, the Nazis, the Germans, the Italians, and now with Islam. So it's been non-stop suffering for 2,000 years. And they say something amazing. They say that in the end, the whole reason that we're going to leave is not because of the Torah that the men are learning. It's not because of all the mitzvot that they're doing. It's not because of all the Shabbat that we keep. It's because of the merit of the Jewish women. This mysterious statement that in the end, because of the merit of the Jewish women, the Jewish people will be saved. And they say not just about then, but every single time that we overcame our suffering, every single time that we left slavery, whether it was Egypt, whether it was with Romans, the Greeks with Hanukkah coming up, every single time the beginning of our leaving had to do with the act of a Jewish woman. So we're going to find out tonight what is the essence of being a woman. What does it mean to be a Jewish woman? Who are you? Are you different than a man? Are you the same? I remember when I used to go to UCLA in graduate school. I grew up very liberal, so I had a lot of that mindset. But then when I got to UCLA, I couldn't believe how liberal it was. I remember there was a girl there who was trying to convince me that men and women are so much the same, that the only thing different between us was the thing between my legs. That's it. She said, otherwise, we're exactly the same. There's no difference between us whatsoever. And it's so unfortunate that women, especially in our generation, feel that they have to be like men. You know, really, in many ways, it should be the other way around. There's so many great things about women that why would you feel like you need to be like a man? And it comes from a lot of confusion, which we're going to talk about tonight, and not knowing who you are. Because when you know who you are, you don't want to be anybody else, because Hashem made everybody perfect, okay? So, there are two main faculties of a soul, of a person. There is a quality called emet, and there's a quality called emunah. So emet means truth. Spiritually, truth is connected to maleness. Okay? It doesn't mean physically male. It means spiritually male. We're going to see the difference, okay? The concept of truth. Women are connected and rooted in the quality of emunah, which is faith. Okay? Emet and emunah. These are the two main qualities of every single Jew, both male and female. But within the male or the male quality is truth, and the female quality is faith. So why are these called male and female? Truth is like a seed. A seed has potential to do anything. A seed can go all over the field. A seed has the potential to become fruit or trees or plants, X, Y, and Z. Seed can turn into anything. However, if seed does not have fertile ground, it never becomes anything. So if you think about your husbands or your brothers or your friends, that they have all of these dreams to do so many different things, and they've tried so many things, and maybe they failed at almost all of those things, part of the reason why men have a hard time succeeding is because they're like seed. They dream of being everything, and many times they end up being nothing. Because seed needs ground. So the quality of the ground, which is the female, is she takes that seed, and she builds that seed, and she nourishes that seed, and she turns that seed into something. So the quality of the woman spiritually is that she's able to take something which is unlimited in potential, she's able to limit it and turn it into a reality. And what's amazing is that you actually see this within, let's say, when men and women are together intimately. What is the man contributing to the woman, which ends up in a child? His seed. His seed has multi-million potential. It can be millions of different children. However, the woman, what does she offer? She offers one egg. What does she do with that one egg? That one egg connects to one of the sperm within the seed, and she builds that seed, that one seed out of the million, for 9 months, until it becomes a physical reality and you have a child. So this whole dynamic that we have within making children is the same exact quality because it roots spiritually. That this is the quality of the male and this is the quality of the female. The male gives over the potential to be anything, but is still nothing yet. And the woman is the ability to take that potential, to harness it, to limit it, to give birth to it in reality. So I'm hinting now to the beginning of why it is that the Jewish women are going to save us in the end. So hopefully you guys are keeping that whole theme in mind throughout the class. With this analogy, we can understand something very powerful. All the things that we know, all of your guys' dreams, you guys probably went to school growing up, maybe you're still in school, you're trying to figure out what you want to be, maybe you're out of school, maybe you're older, and you have had things that haven't worked out. So what are those things that you want to do with your life? Those are your dreams. And all the information that you know. Spiritually, those things are all male. Why are they male? Because they're just potential, right? You can know as much as you want, but if you don't actually turn that into a successful endeavor, it's not real for you. I want to get married, but I'm not. Right? I want a successful relationship with my husband, but we don't have one. I want to have a good job where I feel like I'm being productive, where I feel like I'm doing the thing that I came to this world for, but I don't even know what that is. Right? So all of these things represent our potential and we can't manifest it in reality. Tonight we're going to talk about what is the key to turning that potential and turn it into reality. So the sages teach like this. The female quality is what takes those dreams and makes it real. That quality is Amunah. And what is Amunah? So many people think Amunah is this vague general belief that God exists. But the truth is, many people believe God exists. Non-Jews believe God exists. Christians believe God exists. Muslims believe God exists. Maybe even more so than Jews. So then why is it that we're attributed with the belief in God when almost the majority of the world believes in God? What is so special about Amunah? So the first time that Amunah comes up in the Torah, which is always a hint to what it really means in our life, it says that Moshe's hands were up in Amunah. So what does that mean? It can't mean that his hands believe, right? They're his hands. So what does it mean? So they explain it means he was praying. So Rav Nachman, he's a Hasidic master, and he's really like the biggest impetus for me changing my whole life. He says that Amunah is tefillah. Faith is prayer. It's not a vague belief in God, because the quality of female is not vague. It's not up in the air. It's grounded. It's in reality. So what is an act of Amunah? It's to pray. If you want to believe in Hashem, you pray to Hashem. If you want to believe more in Hashem, you just pray more to Hashem. If you ever feel like you're not connecting to God and you don't know why, and you're going to shiurim, and you're hanging out with your friends, and you're talking things over, and you're getting set up by your friends with other guys who are supposed to be religious, and I still don't feel a deep connection to Hashem, the reason is that connection comes with speech. You know, if you are married to somebody and you come home, somebody says, do you have a husband? You say, yeah. But every single time that you come home, he doesn't speak to you. So yes, you're legally married, but do you feel connected to him? No. Do you feel like he's making you meet your needs? No. Do you feel that you're intimate with him? No. So it's the same thing with Hashem. How can you have a relationship with someone who you don't speak to? So the quality of Amunah is the quality of speech. And this is the real deep, secret, spiritual reason why women are more, I'll say, communicative than men usually are. One of the reasons why men have a hard time speaking and communicating with others, especially with the female counterpart, and women have a very easy time connecting, is because you're rooted in Amunah, which is the quality of speech. So because of that, it's very easy for you to speak. Okay? So we have to learn now why that's so helpful. Why does that turn dreams into reality? So where do we learn the laws of prayer from? Who do we get it from? Right? There's laws that have to do with prayer. You see men, they have to come to shul 3 times a day. They have to pray a certain way. When you get up in the morning, when you go to sleep, there's certain intentions you have to have while you pray. Where do we get that from? So considering men are the ones who are always coming to shul, you would think the laws come from a man. But actually the rabbis teach that all the laws for prayer come from Chana. They come from a woman. Why? Because her essence was prayer. She taught us how to pray. How did Chana pray? Chana was not a pushover. Chana was not soft. Chana prayed incessantly until she got what she wanted. And this is the Jewish quality of faith. Rabbi Nachman says it's a big mistake for people to be passive in their faith. Hashem wants us to beg for what we want and what we need. This is what makes it real for you. Because when you pray for something, your will for that thing grows. And Rabbi Nachman teaches that as soon as your will is as great as the thing that you want, you get it immediately. But that will only grows through prayer, through tefillah. What happened with Chana? She wanted an amazing son, an incredible son. She didn't want a stam son, she wanted a great son. So what did she do? She went to the Beit Knesset and she prayed and cried until she got it. And who did she have? She had Shmuel. They said about Shmuel that he was equal to Moshe and Aaron combined. Moshe and Aaron were the ones who led us out of Egypt. They saved us. After 200 years of slavery and torture, right? How long was the Holocaust? 5 years. We were in Egypt for 200 years. They used to take infants and put them into walls that we were building, and they would suffocate within the walls. 200 years we were there like that. Moshe and Aaron took us out. And it says about Shmuel, he was equal to both of them combined. So why did she get such an amazing son? Because she prayed so hard. And what's the connection? Because prayers create reality. Speech creates reality. And this is the quality of the female. This is actually something that you're able to access much more easily than we do, right? We have to work and toil to get to the point that we can feel intimate and open and genuine enough to actually talk to Hashem. I have many students who come to me. I give them advice because it's something that I've taken on myself, which is I talk to Hashem for an hour a day, which is something we're going to speak about. It's called Hibodedut, something that Rabbi Nachman brings down, is the highest thing that a person can do, higher than learning Torah, higher than doing any mitzvah, is to do something called Hibodedut. It comes from the word boded. It means to seclude yourself, to be alone. So what does he teach us to do? That we should spend time every day by ourselves just talking to Hashem for 1 hour a day. And he says that this will completely change your life. You will have amazing emunah, you're going to see your prayers get answered, and you're going to have many, many miracles that take place. And I can attest it's true, and anybody who does it says the same exact thing. Part of the reason is because of the prayer. The prayer itself is what creates the reality. So if you're spending an hour every day talking to Hashem and asking for what you need, you're actually taking your dreams and you're making them real by speaking them out. And as a mental health therapist, they taught us that the number one key to a good therapeutic relationship is the relationship itself. It's not your experience, it's not what school you went to, it's not the theory that you use to help them, it's how much you guys connect. But I have my own theory. You see that therapy is not effective if nobody's talking. One of the reasons why therapy is so effective is because the person speaks out what he's going through. So the Torah teaches that that is the key to his salvation, that that's why he's helped. Because by speaking out what he's going through, he gives birth to his dreams. He's able to come out of whatever he's going through because now those things are real. It's the talking itself that helps. In fact, when Freud started the whole concept of therapy, he used to have women come in, alone in a room, and had them talk to a wall for an hour. And they got better. Why did they get better? Because that's Hibodedut. Right? They didn't know about God, they weren't speaking to God, but they were talking out loud for an hour